My name is Martin Newman and I'm the Customer Experience Champion. This week, I'm in New York, so good they named it twice. New York is arguably the home of innovation, the home of disruption, and the home of great service and customer experience. So what can the retail industry in the UK learn from customer service and customer experience in New York? Well, let's find out. How do you find shopping in New York compared to Pittsburgh?
There's a lot to choose from.
So many different shops and things. Like we have at home, like there are like 5 shops.
I think you have better options here.
Better options in terms of the stores.
Yeah, I mean we have a lot of the similar stores, but I think that they have just a more unique selection here.
Right.
Yeah.
The service here is amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. Much better than it is back home in Adelaide.
Out of this world.
They're not attacking you as in Pittsburgh, they attack you.
Oh,
so,
really?
per se, if you go into like a Banana Republic or a Gap, they attack you. In Victoria's Secret, they attack you. Here, they greet you.
They actively come to serve you, which they don't do at home.
Yeah.
And we've commented about that, haven't we? So the service levels here are just so much
amazing,
better.
isn't it? No.
And here are many people in the shop. So there's nothing at home. They're like, you have to search to find someone.
Right, so there's more people on the shop floor here serving you, whereas there's less back home. Hi, is this the House of Innovation? Yes. This is. Yes. Fantastic. And is this the main innovation bit here, or is it throughout the whole store?
You'll see different pieces throughout the whole store. Yeah. This is the main place for innovation for those initiatives to take place. Right. On the second floor, you'll have women's and children's apparel and kids' shoes. The third floor is the man cave. It's darker, it's a little bit sexy, it's a little bit mysterious, it's awesome. Fourth floor is where you'll have our sneaker lab as well as our hall of mirrors, which is really awesome. It's inspired by Versailles, and it kind of brings to life. Yeah, it's really cool. You can see the specific shoes showcased on that mirror and a little bit of product knowledge behind those shoes of anything that's high heat that's in that room.
Oh wow.
And then on the fifth floor, it's the expert home, and that's where we have all of our complimentary personal shopping and exclusive member products. So it's really awesome.
You have to sign up for that?
Yeah, all you have to do is be...
You don't have to have a minimum spend level or anything like that, no? And is that available in other stores or just in this one?
Various certain stores, like here, Soho, Chicago, LA Melrose.
I don't know if they do that in London, because I'm from the UK. I'm not sure they do that in London or not.
Not yet.
No. Hello. Hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How does this work? If I want to book a session, what?
So you can book it through the app, and we also accept walk-ins, but walk-ins are based on availability of the experts in store. So
what about if I was just looking for a new pair of sneakers? Have you got a running machine that somebody can look at me?
we don't have a running treadmill here. The only thing we could offer is just educating you on the product. Running stores actually have the
treadmill. There's one in Soho, isn't there?
Soho doesn't have a treadmill anymore.
What does it not? Right.
Yeah. So Flatiron on 20th and 5th, and 67th and 3rd, running Upper East. Right. Those are 2 running shops. They specialize in running.
Perfect. Thank you for helping me. Appreciate it. Thank you. Hello. Hi. Good. Thank you. Do you do click and collect? If I order something online, can I pick it up here? Or? Yeah. You do all that?
You can order with us and have it picked up here as well.
Right. And what about shipped to my house?
We can do that as well.
How quickly can I buy something here and have it shipped to my house?
The first, we offer the service called Deliv. That if you buy a shoe in here, I think it's within a certain time, we can have it delivered to your house, actually the same day before 5 o'clock, something like that. So we can do same day shipping. If it's a product on .com, we can do next day shipping for free.
All right, thank you.
Are you guys all
Excuse me, quick question. Can I personalize or customize products in here in the store?
Not within this store. We do have that at our Soho location.
Soho, right. Okay, but you're in here. Okay. Thank you. So here I am on 5th Avenue, and I've just been into Nike's House of Innovation. That is what I call true retail experience. Bringing the store to life, creating a physical environment that really brings the brand to life and showcases all of the products in the best possible light. It really is fantastic and a must-see when you come to New York. However, Nike is leaving some cash on the table because the experience from that store to the other stores around New York is a bit inconsistent. For example, I wanted to know, is there a treadmill where I could actually try running shoes on and they could tell me which were the best shoes for me. They don't have a treadmill in there, but they have them in other stores in New York. The staff didn't know all they needed to know around the multi-channel proposition. So there's a great experience called Deliv, where I can buy something and have it delivered to my house where I'm living in Manhattan or living within a certain distance of the store here. And not all the staff knew exactly what that proposition entailed. There's also a VIP service for our customers that have the app, and there's lots of benefits for having that. Unlike other stores in and around Manhattan, there's no opportunity for me to customize or personalize products, which I thought was a bit strange. So here I am in Nike's House of Innovation, and yet the one thing I'd like to do is customize and personalize my sneakers or my apparel, and I can't do that. In terms of experiential retail, I would give Nike's House of Innovation on Fifth Avenue 10 out of 10 without a shadow of a doubt. Brilliant brand experience. In terms of commercialization of the customer experience, however, I would give Nike 7 out of 10 because they're leaving quite a lot of cash on the table. Okay. Excuse me.
They probably sold a demo.
Hi. If I buy online, can I pick up in store? You don't do click and collect? Everything? Do you do anything like deliver from the store to home or anything like that?
Yes.
So I could order in here and you'd ship it to my house?
It takes 3 to 6 business days to arrive to your house.
Really?
Yes.
Right, so how come? Why so long?
Because it doesn't come from the store, it comes from the warehouse.
Ah, it comes from the warehouse, not from the store. Right, okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. So I'm on Fifth Avenue and I've just been into the international shoe retailer called Aldo. I was greeted when I came into the store, but I wasn't approached, which I thought was a bit surprising for New York. I was expecting, more of a personal service and to be approached by the staff in the store. I thought the store was lacking visual merchandising. There wasn't a lot of visual merchandising to call out the latest styles, the best-selling products. There is a 50% sale at the moment on some items. I thought the signage for that was a little bit hidden. They were doing a pretty good job of cross-selling accessories, jewelry and other products, so trying to drive up the average order value. I did ask about the multi-channel experience, and they don't do click and collect, but I can order from store and they can have it shipped to my house, but it takes 3 to 6 days. That's not very convenient, and that's because they're not sending it from the store stock, they're actually sending it from the warehouse. Overall, I would give the Aldo customer experience on Fifth Avenue 6 out of 10. They are definitely leaving some dollars on the table. Excuse me, do you do click and collect or anything like that? If I buy online, can I have it shipped to the store or?
No, you have it shipped to your house.
To the house?
Yeah.
From the store?
From the online.
From online. Got it. Thanks. Excuse me, do you have a loyalty program?
Yes, we do.
You do? And how does it work?
You basically sign on your phone, and then it's easy to react. And you just basically log in with your email.
What do I get though? What's the value?
The first customers, you get 10% off the first purchase.
Right.
And then from there, as rewards, you get points for each one. Once you reach the 200 point barrier, you get stuff like free returns. You get a $5 reward card as well.
Right.
For that. Various offers and discounts that are always sent to you. Check your email daily.
Sounds good. And I have to buy something to join it, or can I just sign up
You
for
can just join up right now, and then until you purchase it, the 10% will still be valid for
Got
you.
you.
Until you.
All right, cool. Thank you. So I've just been into the international fashion retailer H&M on Fifth Avenue, and I have to say it was a pretty disappointing experience. A bit surprising given how successful H&M is as an international brand. The staff were completely disengaged. I wasn't approached by anyone, partly because there probably weren't enough staff on the shop floor in the first place, which I found is a real issue in a number of retail environments. There's virtually no visual merchandising, so they're not doing a good job of calling out new products, best-selling styles. This is a fashion retailer after all. And I also thought they could do a much better job of cross-selling the merchandise, you know, t-shirts next to jeans and shorts and so on and so forth. So leaving quite a lot of cash on the table. The most positive thing from the store that I saw is that when you recycle your old products, they'll give you a 15% discount off your next purchase. Overall, I would say H&M are leaving a lot of dollars on the table, and I'd give them 3 or 4 out of 10 at best. Excuse me. Hi. What is the loyalty program that you have? What does that entail?
So it's membership. You get at least 10% off every time you shop here.
Right.
You get coupons. You get, free express shipping. It costs $25 for the year, though. That's the only
$25
for the year.
And then I get, run that by me again.
At least 10% off every time you shop
Yep.
here.
Plus free shipping.
Plus free express shipping. Plus coupons sent to your mail and email.
Right, which is discounts off.
Yeah, with discounts
that.
off books and toys and games, and it also goes on top of the membership.
Good.
So,
That's pretty good.
yeah.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Thanks a lot. Can I apply for that online or just
Yeah, you can apply for it online. You can apply for it in stores too. If you're buying anything
Got
today,
you.
you get that discount right away.
Right. Okay. Brilliant. Thank you very much. So I've just been into Barnes & Noble, the world famous bookseller on 5th Avenue in New York, and it was a pretty good customer experience. The store is very well merchandised, very clear signage. The staff all have uniforms. There's very strong multi-channel messaging. You can buy online and you can have your book ready to pick up within an hour. So really all the sort of cues you'd expect around the multi-channel proposition. They also have a very strong loyalty program, which I thought they could have promoted a little bit more strongly than they do at the moment, because there's a lot of value add to it. But overall, I'd say a great customer experience, and I would give Barnes & Noble 8 out of 10. Hello. Hi, thank you. Do you have Anastasia of Beverly Hills by any chance?
Yes. Do you know why you're looking for Anastasia?
Yeah, I have a couple.
Can you check them out?
Yeah. Is it just this bit here?
It's always from here to the mirror.
All right, okay. But that's different. That's a different brand.
No, all Anastasia.
So I'm thinking Modern Renaissance. Where's that then?
The modern Renaissance is this one, so it's left here on the
Oh, yeah.
left here. Yeah.
And what's the refund?
The return policy is 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
Right.
So it's a
And
while.
do you do click and collect and stuff like that if I buy online and pick up in store? Or?
We don't do that. The only thing we do is, for example, if you would have liked that one, but we don't have it here, you can pay here and then we ship it to your house for free.
All right, okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah. And why does Sephora have no stores in the UK, do you know?
I don't know. It's very strange
Isn't
because
it?
they have it.
Yeah, everywhere else.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go is a
Very,
Sephora.
very strange.
And not in the UK. Seems like a missed opportunity, you know?
Right, I think we have a lot of people from the UK that come and they go crazy.
Of course.
So I wonder why.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, that's brilliant. Where do I pay for this?
Oh, go all the way straight and you will take a here for the
Lovely. Thank you. Hi. Stop, please. Okay, thank you. You have a loyalty program.
Yeah, we do. Are you interested?
How does that work?
So I would just put your name and email. You'll get points. Every dollar you spend is worth a point. You'll get a birthday gift.
Can I put my daughter in for it?
Yeah, what's her first name? So she already has one.
Oh, does it? Right. So are we able to add this to that then? Lovely.
I believe she has 76 points now.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. I've just been into Sephora in New York, and I think it'll be hard to find a better example of a great in-store retail experience in this day and age. The staff are great, they're very engaging, they've got excellent product knowledge, They know the multi-channel proposition, and they certainly know how to sell. I've been to loads of Sephora stores around the world, and I find the experience pretty consistent wherever we go. Obviously, it's mainly my daughters that are going in there, but even when I'm going to buy a gift, it's a really good customer experience. I don't think Sephora are leaving too much cash on the table, and as a result, I would give them 9 out of 10 for a really good customer experience. Where are the business books?
Right here. I can show you.
Thank you.
This row right here and the one directly behind it.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I've just been into the Amazon bookstore in New York. Yes, you heard me right, Amazon bookstore. Who'd have believed that only a few years ago we thought bookstores were a thing of the past and that Amazon and Kindle had changed our book reading and buying behaviours forever? Well, not so, and they now have physical bookstores. And it has to be said that they've done, I think, to the physical bookstore what they've done to online, and they've created a great customer experience. And they've found ways of integrating their online experience into the store. So for example, you can see the most highly rated books as rated by other customers, as you would do on the website. All the staff have Amazon branded uniforms on. They all have name badges on, which is unusual in the world of bookstores, but I think the right thing to do. If you're a Prime delivery member, you can see what the different propositions are for you as a customer. All in all, I say they're doing a pretty good job of selling books in a physical environment, and I would give Amazon 9.5 out of 10 for the in-store book experience. Excuse me. Sorry, see the personalization. What products is that for?
Yeah, so we do that for all of our leather bags.
Right.
Or like.
So it's kind of monogramming, is it, or?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a monogram machine in the back, and then you can do it on like a bag or like a little wallet or a
Right.
keychain. Sign up with it, literally just an email address, and then it's free.
Right, and you can do it there and then?
As long as we have someone in who can monogram. I'm
Right.
not sure if we have anyone in today.
Right.
But normally, yeah.
Well, how long does it normally take?
Depending on how many orders are in, like an hour, 2 hours,
Right,
just to get
okay.
everything in. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no
Thanks a lot. Now that is how to merchandise jeans. Sorry. How does the one-on-one styling work? What's that all about?
So with our jeans, it's just that our associates would be able to help pretty much because we all
Right.
have pretty extensive knowledge on our denim. So
Got you.
if anyone had any questions about the denim, we could definitely help.
Ah, right. And you would help sort of create an outfit
Yeah,
and all that sort of
absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah,
Cool.
because we have a lot of different styles of jeans, like
Yeah,
different
yeah,
fits,
yeah.
different stretches, all that kind of
I
stuff.
need to bring my daughters in then, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's perfect because like
Yeah.
it's pretty intimidating to get jeans, you know, and there's a lot of different things going on
Yeah.
with them. So it's like if someone like wants to describe like how they want them to fit or how much stretch they want them, like that
Yeah.
kind of thing we help out with.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Superb, thank you.
No problem.
Thanks a lot. So I've just been in the Madewell store in Hudson Yards, a new shopping development in New York, and it was a great customer experience. Staff are really knowledgeable, very friendly, very engaging, great product knowledge. Everyone knows the multi-channel proposition. And from a customer experience point of view, you've got free monogramming, where you can have your leather accessories monogrammed and personalized free. They've also got free styling advice, one-to-one styling advice. So all in all round a really good customer experience. I would give Madewell 9 out of 10. So I've had a great day shopping in New York today, and I've been visiting a number of well-known brands in Manhattan, finishing off here at Hudson Yards. Generally speaking, I'd say the customer experience has been pretty good. I think it's been a level above what I've had so far in the UK. And if I do the compare and contrast, for example, between the bookstores in New York with Amazon and Barnes & Noble to what I experienced in Waterstones in the UK, I think I've seen a different level and a better level of customer service and customer experience. Generally speaking, staff have been a bit warmer, they've been a bit more engaging. I think the product knowledge has been quite similar. I think staff here have had better knowledge around the multi-channel proposition, and I'd say that overall New York has delivered a better experience than I've had so far on my trips across Newcastle, Glasgow and London in the UK. There's so much here to see and do, I can't pack it all into one day, so I'm going to come back tomorrow and I'm going to see what else New York has to offer. Having been into Nike's House of Innovation in Manhattan in New York, I have to say that from a pure experiential retail perspective, it was a great customer experience. However, in terms of the experience around buying products, not nearly as strong as it could be. And there's no reason why you can't be both innovative and also make it easier and more effective for consumers to buy products. There's a VIP shopping area on the top floor, but I got no insight in relation to what the proposition was behind customization and personalization. And by that I mean also being able to run on a treadmill and then making sure I buy the right pair of running shoes. When I asked the staff about the multi-channel proposition, in terms of ship from store and click and collect and everything else, I found that their knowledge was a little bit inconsistent. I was greeted when I came into the store, so the experience right at the outset was really good. But I think there's a job for you to do, Nike, when it comes to joining up great innovation with enhancing the experience for consumers when it comes to buying products and making sure that all of your colleagues in the store have up-to-date knowledge of the full multi-channel proposition. I'm now going to have a look at Nike.com, and I'm looking at the immediate calls to action on the homepage. As you'd expect, visual merchandising is very prominent. There's a call out around free shipping and 30-day free returns, which is great. Plus Nike Plus members receive $5 2-day shipping. So there's a number of different call outs and calls to action on the homepage. And also there's a tab at the top of the website around customize. So that's got me intrigued, and I'm going to go in there because I know that Nike are pretty strong on customized product. And I'm going to go into the football category. And of course, because that's refreshing, I'm on the US website and they've got a category for football and also a category for soccer. Now I know I'm in the States. So if I drill down into a product page, I'm going to click on the Nike Vapor. I can get inspired. Then there's a link to my designs, which I haven't got anything yet. So I can click on one of the styles on the left-hand side and I can edit their design. So I can start to basically customize the product in terms of the color, in terms of the swoosh, in terms of the collar for the shoe, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to click done. I'm going to add to my cart. I'm going to choose my size. And then on my shopping bag, I'm going to have a quick look and see what the information is there. It gives me the estimated shipping cost of $8. It doesn't actually tell me when it's going to be shipped or how long it's going to take for me to get that particular style, which is a little frustrating, and I wonder if that's because I've customized it. But nonetheless, I would expect to see some information around that point. And at that part of my journey on the shopping bag, that's where retailers lose most of their orders, because customers abandon when they don't know either how much the total cost of the order is or when they're going to receive it. So that's a bit of a missed opportunity for Nike. Click on the checkout. I can check out as a guest, or I can set up and receive all sorts of benefits as a member, including free shipping. So there's lots of incentives there potentially for me to sign up as a member on the Nike website. But I think the main thing that I would have noticed there to fix would be just the information around delivery and returns at the product detail page, and then also on the shopping bag, because I'm pretty sure Nike, you're losing some dollars at that point in the customer's journey. Having been into the international footwear retailer Aldo store in New York, I have to say it was a bit of a mixed bag as far as the customer experience is concerned. I was greeted on the way into the store, and I would have expected that in New York, but then there was no follow-up, there was no offer of assistance. So if I were you, Aldo, I'd make sure that your colleagues are trained to see the customer journey through, offer me assistance if that's what I want. I might not, but at least give me the option. I also felt that you were a bit light on visual merchandising. You're in the fashion game, and there was no visual merchandising around best-selling styles or the latest products to come in. From a multi-channel perspective, you do have a ship from store proposition, but it's 3 to 6 days. That's really not a compelling customer experience, because if a customer wants ship from store, it's really because they want that product as quickly as possible sent to their house. So 3 to 6 days doesn't really work. So the things that I would fix if I were you, Aldo, is the 3 to 6 days, making sure colleagues engage throughout the whole customer journey, and create some visual merchandising with a real call to action. I'm now going to take a look at Aldo Shoes, the international footwear retailer's website. So there's a big sale call out on the homepage. Little bit inconsistent messaging. So there's a banner at the top of the website that says 25% off all regular priced sandals and handbags. And then there's a summer sale down below, 50% off the original price on all sale. So this is quite typical in retail, really ambiguous messaging around the proposition. So if I'm a customer and I've landed there and I particularly want to buy sandals or handbags, I don't know whether it's 25% off or is it 50% off? Is it 50% off everything or not, as the case may be? Anyway, let's go and find out. So I'm going to click into men's and I'm going to go to loafers. So there's still a banner at the top of that category telling me, or the top of that product category telling me there's 25% off regular price sandals and bags. I'm going to click on the Chawa Swin $110 shoes. Oh, and there, the first thing I see is a sign up for the Aldo newsletter. Follow the latest trends, sales and styles. Get out of my way. What are you doing? You're disrupting my journey. Sorry guys, but you're going to be losing sales at that point, because that's going to drive customers to distraction. I now want to look at possibly buying a product and you want me to sign up for the newsletter. So we'll get rid of that. Get down to product detail page. Pick my size. I can find it. There is a store finder, so I can check stock availability in a particular store. That's great. I don't see any messaging at the moment around delivery and returns. There's no ratings and reviews because the product's not had any ratings and reviews, and they're similar styles. So there's a lack of information that I'm looking for to help me make a decision around delivery and returns. I do want to know that information at this stage of my journey. So I'll add to bag. It's been added to bag. Let's go to the shopping bag and see what's going on there. Shipping estimated delivery date, 3 to 6 business days. So at least they tell me what or when I should expect those shoes to be delivered. However, 3 to 6 business days is massively ambiguous, and it's also quite a lengthy time. So if I'm in a hurry, I'm certainly not going to be buying those shoes from Aldo.com or any other for that matter. So that's a real issue. It does tell me the shipping's free because it's standard, so that's good. But clearly a missed opportunity and some real ambiguity around the messaging, Aldo. So if I were you, I'd walk through the website yourself and just think about what it is that customers are looking for, and think about the messaging and whether or not actually the messaging is intuitive and customers understand it or not. I went into the international retailer H&M store in Times Square in New York, and I have to say I was really disappointed by the experience. There was no greeting when I came into the store. The staff were completely disengaged, and even when I asked for some help and advice, either finding products or around what the multi-channel proposition was, I honestly felt they didn't really want to be there. So I was really disappointed. The only real strong point I could say, I mean, obviously there's strong product as you would expect in a big successful fashion retailer like H&M, and there was a call to action around recycling products and getting 15% off your next purchase, which, given the social responsibility issues around fast fashion, I think was a great thing to do. But overall, a really poor customer experience, and H&M, you've got quite a few things to fix there because you're leaving a lot of dollars on the table. So here I am on H&M's website, and the first two things that I see once I've selected the United States is the cookie policy down the right hand side. Fine, I'll get rid of that. I know why that's there. And then there's another message about caring about my privacy. Your privacy is important to us, which is why we want to inform you on our updated privacy notice. That's legal T&C Quite frankly, as a customer, you don't really care about all that stuff. You might care later on in the journey, but not at this moment in time. And it's a barrier to me even getting into the website. I think a number of customers are actually going to see that and they're going to disappear. Anyway, I've clicked OK as if I've read it and I've gone into the website. There's e-gift cards at the top, customer service, which is good, find a store, which is great. I can see that there's a summer sale for their markdowns of up to 50%. So let's click on that and see what goodies there are on sale. And then interestingly, I get another pop-up. And at this point, I then get the option to navigate into one of the categories. So I'm going to go into men. That banner's still there. And then presumably I see all the products that are up to 50% off. And the good news is there are some products that are even more than 50% off. Because the first t-shirt I've looked at is only $7.99. And the RRP was $17.99. Anyway, let's have a look at that. And if I look at the product detail page, there's some quite strong imagery. Again, I can see all the different back front views of the style. I can see it as worn by a model. I can style it with other items. I can see what other people also bought. So some good cross-selling going on. Then there's also this feature here. We love to see how you style your favorites from H&M Home. H&M and H&M Home, keep sharing your personal style with us. Not really sure what that's all about. It feels like a bit of a distraction. There's no actual product description, really, and there's no messaging around delivery or returns. And I do want to know that information at this point in my journey. Let's add to my bag and see what happens. And I get there and don't see any information, do I, around shipping. Shipping and handling, $3.99. So I know how much it's going to cost, but I don't know when I'm going to get it. So presumably when I get to the checkout, that's when they're going to tell me what the service levels are around shipping. That's not good enough. I want to know at the shopping bag. I guarantee they will lose 45, 50% of their customers at this stage of the journey on the website. And some of that will be because, you know what, up till this point, I have no idea what the service levels are behind shipping. So H&M, if I was going to do one thing, I'd fix the messaging around that so customers are completely clear when they're going to get the items that they bought on your website. I went into the Barnes & Noble bookstore in New York. It's world renowned, and I have to say that as far as the customer experience is concerned, I think they've earned their stripes. There's great visual merchandising in the store around where all the different books are, all the different genres, the multi-channel proposition, there's a loyalty program. You know, it was a great customer experience. Staff were very engaging. When I was asking for any help or assistance, they were very knowledgeable, both around product and around what the multi-channel proposition was. They also wore name badges, which again, I think really personalizes the experience and makes it easier for customers to find staff. So there's really very little for me to call out in terms of what was wrong with the customer experience. Keep up the good work, Barnes & Noble, and I hope that more of our bookstores over here in the UK follow your example. So here I am on the world famous and world renowned Barnes & Noble bookstore in New York. Crikey, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of promotional content on the homepage. My experience is that these sliders on the homepage, they don't get a lot of attention from customers, mainly because there's too many of them. They're scrolling quite quickly. It's quite hard to actually take in what the different propositions are. So I think you might want to think about, I mean, I'm sure that I dare say they've tested it, but they might want to think about maybe just sitting with one and running different promotions at different times of the day. Let's look at the different calls to action. At the top of the website, underneath the logo, you've got Thriller Week, buy one, get one 50% off. You get 10% off your order with the code Fireworks. You've got $15 collectible editions. And then you've got Nuke Glowlight 3, only $95. There's a lot going on. I think this is quite a busy homepage, particularly with the carousel and the slider at the front. So like I say, I might want to advise them to have a think about doing a little bit less. I've clicked on that particular promotion. There's 10% off your purchase. There's a barcode there with a coupon. There's online get 10% off your order. So there's different incentives there that I can take advantage of. Let's go to the New York Times bestseller list. I think the website is particularly well navigatable, if that's such a word. Hang on a minute. It would like to use my current location. Why would they like to use my current location? No, I'm not letting them do that. All the products have got ratings, so I know what other customers like me or consumers like me thought of those particular titles. I've clicked on one of the titles and I'm going to go to the product page now. So Elizabeth Gilbert, City of Girls, and I can see I can get a signed book for $16.80. I can get a hardcover book for $16.80. Now, does that mean it's also signed or it's not signed? So is there less value in the book being signed? I don't think she's getting a lot of value for putting her autograph on a book if I can buy a signed book at the same price as one which is a hardcover. And then there's Marketplace. So there's also new and used books that I can buy. So that's, I guess, a play to compete with the likes of Amazon. But why would you want to call that out so far up the page? Or would you just try and sell me a full price book? Not really sure. And then there's a choice of all the audiobooks and everything else. So let's pick hardcover, add to cart. I'm going to view my shopping cart. Crikey. Again, I think from a creative point of view, I mean, they've got with the best stories under the sun, so I can understand why that particular placeholder's there. They've got add $18.20 of eligible items to qualify for free shipping. Again, that's a distraction that's going to take me away. It might get me to buy more products, but you might also lose me. There's an estimated shipping cost, but not an estimated shipping time. So I don't know when I'm going to have my order delivered. There's different payment options at this point, PayPal or MasterCard, MasterPass. There's also a loyalty scheme, which is good, but wouldn't I maybe want that earlier in the journey? I'm not sure. So there's a lot going on, and I would just think about testing that shopping bag page to maybe remove some of the calls to action, because I think it's very distracting. So that's what I would look to do, Barnes & Noble. Do some split testing and try and clean up the shopping bag. I went into Sephora's store in New York, and let me tell you, I have been into probably, or it feels like probably, most of Sephora's stores in the Western world, because whenever I travel with two daughters and my wife, as you can imagine, Sephora is absolutely a destination they want to be in. I found the customer experience to be great. I think there's a great atmosphere in the Sephora stores. The staff have fantastic product knowledge. The stores are really well visually merchandised. To add to that, I'd say there's really good impulse shopping opportunities for consumers at the till, where they're merchandising additional products, little pick-me-ups that I might want to buy at the end of my journey. The only thing I would say, Sephora, that you might want to think about improving is how you help customers get out the store quicker. So there were about 5 customers in front of me in the checkout queue, and whilst the queue went down reasonably quickly, when the queue's bigger, some customers will just abandon their basket and leave. So why not offer e-receipts? Not only is that an opportunity to capture the customer's data in their email address, but it also enables the customer who wants to get out of the store quicker the opportunity to do so. So I'm on the Sephora website and I cannot seem to access the English language version of it. It is a French business, but obviously they have stores all over the world. It could just be that they're using geofencing to serve up the relevant content based on where I am, which at the moment I'm in the UK and they don't have any stores in the UK. Nonetheless, given the fact it's a global brand and given the fact my daughters drag me in to every Sephora known to man, I would have thought they're missing an opportunity by not serving up an English language website to me in the UK. So I was wanting to look at the US website, but I don't even know if one exists because I can't get into .com. And my French is not good either. I can't sing the Le Marseillaise, the French national anthem, from start to finish. That's a long story for another day. Getting back to the website, Sephora collection, so I can understand what that means. So I'll go in there and I think that's saying discover. I'll go into there. Seems to be taking a while to get down to a product category or a product. Here we go. So I can click on a product here. They've got ratings and reviews, so I know how many customers like them. I know that there's different sizes of products that I can buy. Again, given that my French is not brilliant, I'm not sure that they've got delivery and returns information on the product page. I can't see it, so I think that's possibly a miss. I'm going to add to my bag. Seems to be taking a while. I'm then going to check my bag. And again, I don't see any information around the service level for delivery. So if you're buying online, you need to know when the product's going to be delivered. Otherwise, it defeats the whole purpose. There is some customer service information there. So there is a phone number that I can phone, probably a free phone number if I were living in France, to get information around the customer experience or any questions I've got, which is good. It shows me all the payment methods, which is good, but please tell me when I'm going to have my order delivered. Who would have imagined that Amazon would be selling books in a physical environment when 3 or 4 years ago we all thought bookstores and physical bookstores were going to be a thing of the past? Well, there you go. Amazon is now a multi-channel retailer. I predicted as much in 2013 because they have to be where customers want them to be. And let me tell you that they sell books offline as well as they sell them online. And when you go into the store, it's a great customer experience. What they're doing is they're bringing the online experience into the store so you can see all the top rated products. Everything's categorized and merchandised just as effectively as it would be on the Amazon website. That's why Amazon are so good at what they do. So there's very little for me to call out. The multi-channel proposition is maybe a little bit lacking. There's not an obvious call to action around click and collect. There's no call to action around ship from store. But apart from that, I would say as an in-store customer experience, it's pretty much as good as it gets when it comes to buying books. So here I am on Amazon.com, the website that most of us love and know. I must admit that I've never found the customer journey on Amazon.com to be the most intuitive. I think it's a website that we've all kind of grown up with that's got better over the years. But anyway, oh, men's dress shoes. Let's go and have a look at that. I'll probably get more shoes than my wife will actually, which is a bit embarrassing. But anyway, Clark's men's Tilden cap Oxford shoe. 1,055 people have rated it. Let's have a look at that. $52.27 to $90. So pretty good product information as you'd expect. More fashion picks if I want to go and look at other products. There's sponsor products that relate to that item. Socks, so they're cross-selling socks on the right-hand side. That's one of the first websites I've looked at today that's actually even attempted to cross-sell. Can I see information? You know, if I'm not an Amazon Prime member, do I see information around delivery and returns on that page? No, I don't think I do. If I scroll much further down, customer questions and answers, maybe, but it's certainly not obvious. So if I were a first-time Amazon buyer and I hadn't bought before and I didn't know about Prime and I didn't have Prime and I wanted to know what the service levels were around delivery and returns, then I think that's a missed opportunity. So let me select my size anyway and I'll add to bag. This item ships to United Kingdom, so it knows I'm in the UK. Get it by Tuesday, July the 9th, or Friday, July the 12th. Choose this date at checkout. So it's starting to tell me about the delivery proposition once I've added to my bag. I think you might want to actually give me that information before I've added to my bag. Let's proceed to checkout. So let's go to the cart, as they call it in the States. And there's quite a lot of noise here. So there's the product that I'm buying. I can order more if I want. I can delete it or save it for later. Doesn't tell me again what the shipping is at this juncture. Lots of other sponsored products down below. Customers who shop for that particular style shop for all these others down the right hand side. I'd love to know what the results of all of that were when you test that page, because if I just want to buy that product, there's an awful lot of other things competing for my attention. When I proceed to checkout, there is no such thing as a guest checkout on Amazon. So basically I've got to sign in or I've got to create my Amazon account, as you would probably expect. So I think the key opportunities as far as I could tell there were, again, really around the messaging around delivery, the messaging around returns, particularly for customers that haven't used Amazon and don't know anything about Amazon Prime. I went into the Madewell store in the new Hudson's Yard development in New York, and there are very few retailers that I think have thought through the customer experience as well as Madewell. You can have your accessories monogrammed, so there's personalization, customization of products. There's great buying guides around buying denim and all the different shapes and sizes. There's very strong visual merchandising. The staff are great, they're very engaging, they're very welcoming. Madewell is as good a retailer as you're likely to find, and if you want to know how to improve the customer experience in your business, I recommend you pay them a visit in New York. So I'm on the Madewell website, which is a great retailer that I have been into recently in New York. First thing is they localize for the UK. So Madewell.com now ships worldwide. and I can press continue. I saw something else before that which looked like it was a value proposition around buying on Madewell, but it disappeared. Might be that it's not relevant in the UK. Anyway, let's click on men, and I can see that there's a 25% off event. So there's a discount. Use the code FIREWORK. That's for the 4th of July, I can tell, which is today. So when I'm recording this, happy Independence Day. There's nothing around any service levels around delivery or returns. No other promotional call outs on the home page. Let's go into denim. Let's go into slim jeans, which I could just about get into. Let's go to, skinny's too skinny. I'll go to slim. And then I've got different options there to filter down. I can sort the page by the grid, by how many products I want to see. There doesn't seem to be a sort by bestsellers or newest in or anything like that, which is quite relevant when you're in fashion. I get to the product detail page and, oh, what was that? That was another message that popped up. I'm not sure what it was. I'm not sure how well the product detail page is designed or optimized for that matter. I can see it's a best-selling product, although nobody else has written any reviews for it, which is a bit strange. The size guide is literally laid out one after the other rather than a drop down, which is why the size guide's taking up so much of the page. Anyway, we'll select my size, which is 30-32. Lots of product details. I can shop the look. But again, there's no information on delivery or returns, which I really need to know at this point in the journey. I'm going to add to bag. Then I'm forced to enter my zip code or my postcode. So I've applied that and it's now going to tell me in a minute. So there's no duty, which is great. Shipping and handling is £9.71, which is a little bit pricey. Although there are two options here on the left-hand side. So that's for an estimated 2 to 8 business days, or express, which is 2 to 6 business days, which isn't that much better, for $20, which is over twice the price. And that's because they're shipping from the States, as I would have expected. So I think there's an opportunity there again to improve the messaging around that, and the actual customer experience. Madewell's a great brand. I mean, the experience in the store is fantastic. I'm not 100% sure that the experience online quite lives up to the offline experience in terms of the calls to action, the visual merchandising, the intuitiveness of the website, which is maybe not quite aligned with the store.